all?
Very good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Hi.
Good
Lovely to see
evening.
you all.
Hello.
Hi. It'll be great if we can all mute ourselves and switch on video if possible. So that it'll be nice to see some faces on camera. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
You can call me Anjali. There's no ma'am and sir in the room. Lovely to see all of you. Thank you to those of you who switched on video. Would request everyone to mute themselves as you come in. Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening, Anjali. Good evening to all.
Yeah, we can get started. Would request Sunetra to support with spotlighting and allowing people in.
Sure.
Hi, everyone. I hope you're having a great evening. My name is Anjali. I'm currently a program manager in the Bhumi Fellowship. I joined as a fellow back in 2020, completed my fellowship in 2022, and then transitioned to working full-time with the organization. So today, I'm really happy to see all of you here as part of our Becoming a Changemaker a webinar series. This is a program where we talk a little bit about the fellowship, understand the ecosystem, what it actually takes to create any kind of meaningful change, and to understand a little bit more about the fellowship journey through the lens of the fellow and the stakeholders as well. So to understand some of the norms that we are working with today, if we can go to the next slide. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, it'll be great to see a lot of faces. I can see Gayatri, Avidya, Darshan, Nihal, many of you on camera. It'll be great if everyone can switch on their cameras as well. As I mentioned earlier, since there's a big group here, I saw 86 at last count and more are coming in. To make this a more purposeful and meaningful conversation, I would invite everyone to mute yourself. Of course, if you have a question, you can unmute yourself later. But in the beginning, I would like to request you to stay on mute. The third one, very self-explanatory. It's a question mark, which means we want you to ask a lot of questions, right? Please be active, ask a lot of questions. Only suggestion would be to ask questions around the webinar and the conversation that we are having today. We have a very exciting, interesting conversation planned for you with one of the HMs from our schools and our fellow Ajit. More about them to come. And last but not the least, this is, of course, a fellowship where we work in schools. I'd like to request you all to raise your hands. You can use the raise hand feature or raise your hand. And if I can see you, I will invite you to ask your question. And with that, we can move on. A little bit about the agenda for today. We will start with a very short introduction about the fellowship. After that, we will do a small check-in. It is our culture to always start with the small engagement activity, which we will do in a bit. Post that, we will move into conversation with Mrs. Gajalakshmi. Ma'am is on call right now. Welcome to you, ma'am. And Ajit, who is also on call. Welcome, Ajit. We will learn a little bit more about their experience being in the school system as a fellow and what their journey has looked like. After which we will move into Q&A with all of you and we'll close out. So to begin with, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the fellowship itself. The fellowship comes under the education program of Bhumi. It is a 2-year full-time program where a lot of youngsters, youth like you and me, we can work with all the stakeholders. This includes the parents, teachers, HMs like Gajalakshmi ma'am. We can work with all of them to bring a holistic transformation in schools. Currently, we operate majorly in Tamil Nadu, with Chennai being our primary city. We are also working with low-income private schools or affordable private schools, government schools, and government-aided schools. But Tamil is not a barrier. We encourage applications from all across India. This year, we have a lot of fellows from Kerala, from Andhra, we have some from West Bengal and Bihar as well. So we encouraged a lot of diversity and people from other states coming in. As we move ahead, I'd like to encourage all of you to use the chat actively and ask your questions, share your thoughts for Ajit and Gajlakshmi ma'am, and we will try to address them. Any questions related to recruitment, I would suggest that you either email us at fellowship@bhumi.ngo or you share it on chat so that our team can respond to you right away. And with that, we'll go into our check-in. Thank you for listening to me. This is something fun, right? I was thinking about this while coming up with the flow, and I was curious to know. So, for all of you, what is one incident or memory that you remember the most when you think about your school's HM or principal? Ma'am and Ajit, I'd like to invite you to unmute and share. Ma'am, can you tell us about your HM or principal when you were a child? And everyone else, please do share on chat.
Good evening to all. Myself, Get Lakshmi. Just
Good
in
evening.
direct to the second activity. So I just thinking my nursery primary school HM. He's Joseph sir. He just taught us in a lively manner. That primary session is just unforgettable. And my higher secondary and all that's like formal. HMs will come and deliver their speech on occasions. So this is my experience. But I never forget the nursery in primary school HM.
That's
Thank you.
great to hear, ma'am. Thank you for sharing. What about you, Ajit?
Oh, hope
A little louder, please.
I'm audible now. Is that Anjali?
Yes,
Yeah, is that fine?
yes.
Perfect. So I could remember my HM uh, from 11th and 12th standard. So he won't give a corporal punishment. So he's very nice HM. He used to always friendly with anybody, like everyone, with students. So he always encourages students to take ownership, to take initiatives like that. So I could able to remember him now.
Yeah, that's interesting what you said. I think we all need a lot of kind people in our lives, and when you have an HM or a teacher who is kind, that makes a lot of difference. Ajit, I believe your voice is slightly echoing also. If you could either maybe remove the earphones or reconnect, I think that'll be helpful. I would invite some other people to also share. What is an incident or memory that you have with your HM or teachers even? Would anyone like to share?
Hello, can you hear?
Yes, we can hear.
Okay, thank you. There is a very good memory for my headmaster when I was young. Like from the, I was from when I was young, like the principal used to take me to competitive um what to say competitions, and they make me to get toppers also sometimes, and then that valued so much for my past, like for from my my life. And then almost the principal is the headmost, so I hope that the principal will take a vital role for the students also. And then really happy when I look my life because of the teachers, headmaster, mainly the headmaster. I want to repay the gratitude to him for my ex principals of my schools. Uh, that's all. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. I believe Rishankar, am I saying your name correctly?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. We're getting some lovely responses on chat as well. Bhanupriya shared a very nice story about Ganesh Kumar sir, who was very active and very encouraging. And then we have a story of Rohit, who's talking about the word a strict correspondent and principal, but later realized that they were very responsible in maintaining school activities. Thank you for sharing, Manasa. So, yeah, of course, when you have an HM, it's very motivating for us when they come for prize distributions. I also always wanted that my HM recognize me and give me an award. So that was a huge motivation for us. I would encourage the others to keep sharing on chat. We will move on in the interest of time. We will go into our interaction with Gajalakshmi ma'am, who is currently the HM of Macaulay Nursery and Primary School. This school has been with us since the first year of the fellowship, and I was also placed as a fellow in this particular school. So we will get to know her a little bit more. Ma'am, could you please introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're coming from, and your journey until now.
Sure, Anjali. Thanks for this opportunity, first of all, to the Bhumi. And myself, Lakshmi, I'm just started my career as a teacher, first 2 years, 2007 and 8, I'm being a teacher. After seeing my performance, management has promoted me as a HM. From there to here, I'm just be a principal of McAllen Nursery and Primary School. I just love to work in a nursery and primary session. So my passion is it's going on. It's there is no end for my passion. So it's going well. I'm major. I just completed my schooling. After that, major is MSc Geography. I just did my B.Ed, M.Ed, and what DLEd, Montessori. For the what now is needed for my career, I just certificate of that. Added to that, I just am a career guidance. I always work with kids, so I just like this profession. So it's going, it's wonderful way. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That's a very interesting journey. Starting from 2007, that's 15 years, more than 15 years. Um, uh, I would request everyone to mute themselves, please, because we are hearing some noise in the background. Thank you. Ajit here is currently the fellow at Macaulay Nursery and Primary School, and he is working with Gajalakshmi ma'am very closely right now. I would invite Ajit, who is part of our 2023 cohort of fellows, to introduce himself, please.
Hello, everyone. This is Ajit from 2023 cohort. I live in northern part of Chennai. I did schooling from government aided school where I am part of various clubs like NCC, NSS, and eco clubs activity during my schooling. That gave me good confidence, and that gave me a picture of how volunteering will look like. So I could able to understand the importance of volunteering at that time. So I'm remembering that. And then I did UG and PG in psychology. During my college days, I am part of my college NCC team, and I represented our state in 2019 Republic Day Parade, which will happen in New Delhi every year. So I got a chance to serve as a company senior officer in my college tenure. So coming from underprivileged community, like where I live, so the education system where I am part of made me to what I am doing now. So that's why I chose fellowship to help child what I didn't get in my childhood in the education system. Yeah. Thank you, Anjali.
Thank you for sharing, Ajit. I also find the part about you being active as a volunteer and that spirit coming from NCC, right? We will touch upon that a little later. But really inspiring that you experienced some challenges in the education system and now you are here wanting to make a difference. Uh, with that, we'll open up to ma'am. Actually, ma'am, as someone who has been working in the education system for so many years, you have been HM also for so long. What is your favorite part about being the HM of a school?
As a HM, I can decide what is needed for the children, and I can connect the teacher as well as the students as well as the management, parents. So, being a HM, it is easy to connect children versus teacher. That is my positive note. So I can see the needed for the children. I can give what is required for them to learn. So I just often thinking on that. So I just like that.
That's great, ma'am. I think a lot of teachers enter the system with that passion to work with children, and it's a great opportunity to work with all stakeholders. And I am also personally inspired after all these years that you have the motivation to still continue doing that, right? Now, flipping the coin to Ajit. Ajit, can you talk a little bit about your role as a Bhumi Fellow and what is your favorite part of the role?
Yeah, Anjali. So I work for Whole School Transformation, which aims to build school as a growth hub for students, parents, and teachers and school leaders as well. So I teach English and Maths for grade 2, bringing kids grade level knowledge and skills. So that I do predominantly and engage with parents and teachers and school leaders too to collaboratively create a sustainable systems which required in school. So that's how I work as a fellow in a school. And my favorite part is working with and for children is my uh, uh, most exciting part in this journey. I could understand how children are learning, understanding things and unlearning things. So that's my favorite part, to observe kids how they're processing all those things. Yeah, Anjali.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ajit. Some similarities, right? Here you have a unique opportunity because in this fellowship, you're not just teaching, but you are also similar to what ma'am said, working with parents, HMs, teachers, and of course, working extensively with children in this journey. Now, for all of our audience, Macaulay Nursery and Primary School is an affordable private school, which we will learn a little bit more about. But before we learn about that, we have a small question for you. If we could go to the next slide. Everyone, I would like to hear responses on chat. How many children in India between age 6 to 14 are currently enrolled in private schools? All guesses are fine. If you had to quickly guess, how many children are enrolled in private schools? Post which we will go and try to understand a little bit about affordable private schools. Okay, we have a huge range, 8%, 72, 15 lakhs, and in percent, what would that be, Onkar, if you could share? 60, 89, 30, a wide range again. Okay, that's very interesting. A very high number for a lot of responses, right? We can reveal the answer. It actually, as of 2022, according to the annual status of education report, 27% of children were enrolled in private schools, which means 73% of our country's children are in government or government aided schools, right? So majority of our children, contradictorily, because some of you have very high percentages here, they're actually in private schools. Now, if you can go to the next slide, please. Yeah, all of you can share on chat as well. Curious to know your understanding this. 23% of our children in affordable, in private schools. Ma'am, if you could unmute and share, what is the difference between an affordable private school and your regular CBSE international school or a government school? I would request everyone else to unmute themselves so we can hear ma'am. Ma'am,
Yeah.
are you here?
Ma'am, the difference is the difference in private
Sorry.
school and typical
Sorry,
government
Manik
school
Chand.
is.
Manik
ma'am.
Chand, sorry, I will ask you to put your response on chat so we can hear from ma'am while you also share. I hope that's okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am, over to you.
Sorry, yeah, I'm here. If you see the budget private schools, the children want, the parents wants to give a quality of education to their wards, you know. But if you comparatively see in our area, our school is a budget private school where the parents are coming from downtrodden level. So they are mostly daily wages from the morning to evening they are working and then they're getting the pay, but they want their children to give a what is quality of education the best, and they're just not preferring here little government aided schools are there. So, but if we compare the private school as well as the CBSE board, the craze is there with the parents who are afford, So nowadays the all the thing, infrastructure and free fees, everything is differ from the budget private school as well as the CBSE school. They are budgeting lots of lakhs, but these parents from the underprivileged group, they not afford to get this level of thing. So they are approaching the budget private school, even though if they are joining, they not give a best from them. But all the things, right from the morning starting level to evening, the teacher responsibility and the school responsibility to teach the children everything is right from the health and studies, everything the schools are taking care. So the CBSE school parents background is differ, but budget private school parents background is differ. That's a I think so. It's
Yes,
a
ma'am. Yes, that's very interesting. And some of the audience on chat has also been mentioning that the main difference is in fees, right, and infrastructure. So your elite CBSE schools could be charging anywhere between 1 lakh to say 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs in some cases, whereas an affordable or a budget private school will only charge around 2,000 to 4,000. In some cases, maybe 10,000, 12,000. That's about it. But even that is very high for a lot of parents. And ma'am, do you want to talk a little bit about the difference between a government school and an affordable private school?
Yeah, if you see nowadays in Tamil Nadu, especially, they are sponsoring to the children lots of things in the government school, right from the breakfast, lunch, uniforms, textbooks, and everything is a free of cost from the government side. And then they are just providing lots of things for the children. They are encouraging the children to participate in the government school. But if you take the budget private schools, all those things we need to purchase from our stakeholders. They never give anything. But we in our level of budget private schools, the management is the main area. They are pushing the teachers as well as all those things, all the areas to give a best to the children. They're trying to give best to the children like that. And but in the government schools, everything is affordable, but how the way they are taking out, that is a question mark over there. Here, some monitor is there. They are checking continuously the studies as well as all the child's growth, everything. But if we take in Tamil Nadu, most of the children are studying in the government schools. So everything they are just getting free. But the parents are not taking care of the children. They just once they join, they're leaving as it is. That is also is there.
Right. And now with some of the new schemes that are being introduced in Tamil Nadu, like the breakfast scheme rolled out by the chief minister and the midday meal, a lot more parents are willing to send their children to government schools as opposed to budget private schools. Like in during COVID, we saw that the trend of children dropping out from private schools had increased and they were going to government schools. But now suddenly we are seeing a slow reverse, right? With more children coming to private schools as well, which is very interesting. Bhumi Fellowship currently, most of our schools are corporation schools and aided schools. We only have 3 private schools in our roster. So, Ajit, as a fellow who is working in one of these private schools, what has your experience been like? Tell us a little bit. As a fellow, you have also been working with parents, teachers, and ma'am. What are some things that you have done, and what have you learned in the last few months?
Yeah. So for me, initially it took time to understand the school ecosystem initially, and a system which exists already in there. So that took time to getting and adapting to the system like that. So each stakeholders have different mindsets. Like teachers, parents, and students and school leaders have different mindsets. So for me, initially the experience looks like huge, and over the time for me, I get to adapt to the system to understand better how it is functioning, how teachers are working, how students are fitting into that system, and how parents are engaging in educational system like that. So especially with ma'am, we were talking about like in our beginning month of our fellowship journey starts. Like during that time we were sit together and talking about our visions. What is ma'am's vision towards a school, and what is my vision towards a school. Like we were sitting and talking about, in 2 years what kind of changes we're going to make in this school, and that is going to impact children's directly, like for each stakeholders. So I really had a good experience talking and connecting with the ma'am. Like we had a really good connection in between us. So that we could able to we used to have a little bit of challenges too. Example, if I am getting an idea, if now I used to sit with ma'am and we used to discuss, there might be a practical difficulty might be there. So for that we have to co-create and collaboratively work together to implement that idea. So that's how it goes. So that experience is really amazing. Like when I'm connecting with different stakeholders, that experience is really amazing when you ask that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Ajit, can you also talk about some of the interventions that you have been doing in the last few months?
Yeah. So I've been I've been doing this fellowship for almost 6 months. So from that first month, we have initiated few things. On the first month itself, we just wanted to give a first aid awareness. If somebody met with an accident, how a student can help this society. So for that, we have organized, me and ma'am, like we together sit together and planned for a first aid training program. We provided training regarding first aid and CPR for students and teachers, especially 10th and 11th standard grade students. We provided training and we gave certificates too for that. And then we've been planning to recurring first aid programs which are going to happen in our school. So once they're getting into a college, they'll be a good human beings and good adult. They can help people. They can boldly they will confidently get into the required problem. Like they'll go and solve and ease the situation in the society. So that we did in first month itself. So and then we just wanted to create ecological awareness about ecological awareness to the kids. So for that we just created eco club in our school for 7th, 8th, and 9th grade students. So we are creating now 1,000 tree saplings in our school itself. So the picture you are seeing in the slide is the students were they were created almost 1,000 tree saplings. They filled sapling pouches by their hand. They are showing a mud. They touch the soil. That's their first experience touching the soil. So these kind of things. And 1,000 tree saplings are going to help that community. We are going to provide those saplings getting into the community, and we are providing that for free of cost. So this is a whole experience for the children. They'll be engaging in making those those sapling process and getting that. Getting back to the society, and they're going to plant seeds, and they're going to talk to the different people in that community. So that is second thing. And we started yoga class too for our children. So to provide holistic education, to bring a holistic education. And we've been started yoga class for grade 3, 4, and 5. So it's all going good actually. So this is how in this process I learned many things. Different grade level students uh, perceive uh, perceive this world differently, and then they act differently. In this journey, I could able to understand every child is really unique. So every child have their own interest. We need to provide that space to exploration, space for exploration, and give those experience according to their needs. So this is the learning for me in this past 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible work, Ajit. Achieved so much in a very short period of time. What stands out to me also is that as a fellow, of course, you have to teach English and maths for grade two, but you have gone out of your expected role to do the yoga classes, eco club, also bring in the first aid awareness, working with children of all grades, and also working very closely with ma'am and the teachers to make this happen. It's amazing how you have involved everybody in these initiatives. We touched upon holistic education a little bit, Gajalakshmi ma'am. Can you also share how your experience
Yeah.
has been and what is your vision for the school and students?
Yeah, added to that, every weekend we have a no bag hour, no bag day. So on that day, with the help of Ajit, we just placing the movies which where the child can give the emotional let out, in the name called Nallavai Padagu. So in the olden days or 10 years back, the families are in a joint family, but now all the families are in a nuclear, So there is no let out for the children uh, to share their emotions and how we need to be a good or a bad. They doesn't know anything. Uh, we can't say they are sharing in a right way or a wrong way. So this is there is a day we call Nalavai Palagu. We just placing videos where they can learn the good things and they can criticize the picture, whether it is right or wrong. They are analyzing. So lots of things going on with their emotions. So I just thank to Ajit to start up that. So I just want the fellows to understand the mindset of children who are wherever where they are placing. So first we need to check out the students' mindset and we need to analyze which background they are coming from and what is needed to the children. We can't say randomly these things and all we have to place. So that is not right. So now Ajit is working past 6 months over here. So he's starting, he observed slowly, he observed, and he observed the teacher's mentality. And with the help of the Hello team, we are having a teacher circle. We are giving what is letter for the teachers even because they are the persons who are the guidance apparent for the students. So they do have emotions, so how they can handle in the classroom atmosphere. Lots of things is going on with the help of Ajit from Bhumi. So this is a right thing. I just thought, like, it's a blessed. Our school and I am blessed to have a Bhumi with the fellowship. That's certainly. And
Likewise, ma'am, it's been a pleasure to work with you for the last, I think, 5 years or so. If you could also share your vision for the school and students. First of all, lovely how you shared your experience with Bhumi and also talked about our workshops for teachers, right, through our social and emotional learning program. If you can share your vision, we will then move into Q&A after that.
vision, towards the school, as a person I'm working over there, my vision to get more children and we have to teach for more of buds. With the vision of students case, all the students whoever studying in our hand, we need to take care of like a treasure, and the treasure has to go in the right way. They can explore in the futuristic world and how they can project in the futuristic world. So they can be face the futuristic world in a bold manner and with the lots of humanity. So that my vision to teach how the human has to be and how they can give back to the society once they comes in a touch their what a peak, no, that is the vision. So no one should not uh, uh, go down. No, it's not taking of marks or something. I couldn't expecting to take a mark. So myself and the management thing, the motto is the student-centric, rise and shine of our school motto. The word itself speaks. We have to give a hand for the children to get the uh, uh, to face the futuristic world. So they have to survive like nowadays we are seeing lots of emotional baggages, no? So those things and all we need to eradicate. As a teachers, we need to support the children to face the world. That is my vision to the students.
That's extremely
Yes, that
inspiring,
is.
ma'am, and aligns perfectly. I think what we're all trying to achieve is the same, essentially. One learning for me is also sometimes I think as fellows and as youngsters, we come in with a lot of fear, like, okay, what will HM ma'am say, or what might they think? But actually, we are all working for the same thing. And one thing I want to highlight is what you said regarding humanity and, taking a very humane approach. Marks, okay, is important, but what kind of people or are we making our children in the future? With that, we will move into Q&A. Maybe we can stop sharing screens so we can take a look at our audience as well. Please raise your hands using the raise hand feature to ask a question, or you can also put your question on chat and I will um, take it from there. Yes, any questions? I will wait for another 10 seconds for questions. We have over 150 participants on chat, expecting a lot of questions from all of you.
Madam, ma'am,
Yes, please.
really, what are the this Bhumi fellowship? What are the main what is the facilities given? Like, I'm not very much aware about this fellowship. Can you please highlight a bit?
Yeah, so the fellowship is a 2-year journey. Ajit is currently a first-year fellow who is working in one of our schools, which is Macaulay Nursery and Primary School, and ma'am is the HM of the school. We take a whole school approach to the fellowship. So as fellows, we work with children in a primary school classroom to teach English and maths. And then, of course, as Ajit mentioned, you work with all the other stakeholders like HMs, parents, and teachers to improve the school based on the requirements of the school. I hope
Yes,
that
yes.
answers your question.
Yes. Thank you,
We
ma'am.
have another question from Yesuraj.
Hello. Uh, can you able to hear me?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, thank you. I'm currently in Germany. I'm for my master studies. I'm currently doing my job. So I also interested to join the fellowship program and like to contribute to the underprivileged students. Is it possibility can join the fellowship program online, or do you have any other programs?
I would invite you to volunteer with us. You can check out our page. Website has a lot of online remote opportunities. I hope that addresses Yesuraj. The fellowship is in person, currently based out of Tamil Nadu. It's a full-time opportunity where you have to be in the school on a daily basis. So unfortunately, not online.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah, I would invite everyone to ask questions about the education system, about the fellowship journey, because we have Ajit and Gajalakshmi ma'am with us, and we've had a very interesting conversation with them. Pramod, I see you have your hand raised. Looking forward to your question.
Ma'am, please translate to Hindi. Please shortcut fellowship details.
Unfortunately, Pramod, I will not be able to fully help you at this point in time. We can connect on a call later
Okay.
if you need any more clarity. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Once
Thank you.
again, reiterating, would like to get questions around today's conversation around school leadership, education system, anything that you would like to ask. Samudrala, I see you have your hand raised. Samudrala Ramu, am I saying that correctly? Okay, I also see Jafar Sharif, you have your hand raised. Would you like to ask a question?
Sure, Anjali. This question is for Ajit, sir. Sir, I would like to know what kind of challenges you faced during your fellowship program and how you faced it.
Yeah. So, first of all, you can call me Ajit.
Okay, sir.
And as I said earlier, like for me, getting into an already existing system, there is an educational ecosystem is there. I am adapting to an particular school. So understand that their ecosystem is quite challenging for me initially. Now I understood the system, how things work, how teachers will work, how students used to think in this particular setting, in this particular community. So it depends upon different communities, their mindsets and their challenges might be different. For to adapt to this particular community is the challenging for me. And then now I'm getting that pace and going forward. Yeah, with good Josh. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Ajit. Alan Ashok, I see you have your hand raised. After that, a question for you on chat, ma'am. I will come back to that. Yes, Alan.
So, ma'am, my doubt is that, like, I know that
Sorry, Alan, we lost you. We cannot hear anything. Okay, while we wait for Alan to come back, Rupali Dhule, do you have a question to ask?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I am stay from Maharashtrian state. So all this program is carry in which state?
We are in Chennai, Tamil Nadu right now. So Tamil Nadu itself, yeah, you will have to move to Chennai if you would want to take part in the fellowship.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Once again, reiterating, it'll be great if we have a lot of questions about the education system, about schools, because we have ma'am and Ajit on call. Yes, Ansar Hussain, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Over to you.
Yeah, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
You are audible.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Ansar Hussain, and I am from Badgam, one of the remote villages of district Badgam in Jammu and Kashmir. And listening to you was quite, informative, and I seek forward to work with you because I have applied for this fellowship, and I'm looking forward to have, to work and gain experience in the field of education and the education system and the related contribution that you people are putting in to make the lives of those people better, because we see that in our country there are a lot of people who are not in a position to get the high and good education due to some of the different issues that they face in. And I think it's only the education that can make a person's life better. And I think if you are educated and you are looking forward for the future generation, it's only due to education which can change the lives of those people. And I think it's the onus lies on us, being the citizens of this country, wherever we live in doesn't matter. And I live from one of the corners of this country, but I think that I have been associated with this work because I have contributed for a lot of years, right from my graduation, in these local schools. I have been teaching to the students, and I felt the difference that between those marginalized people and the people who are from the higher backgrounds. And I think
Yes, Ansar, in the interest of time, pausing you. Uh, Really inspiring story, right? And you're already working with children you have taught in schools. In the interest of time, I would ask you if you have a question that you would like to ask ma'am and Ajit.
Yeah, that's I'm coming to that very question only. And
Yes.
my specific question is about the education system only, that because he this is whole related to the education, and what kind of procedures and techniques we as fellows would be following in the future time if we get a chance to work with these the professional like you.
Yes, thank you, Ansar. I would invite everyone else to mute themselves because I'm hearing a lot of disturbance in the background. Gajalakshmi ma'am, you have seen 3 fellows in the school so far. Do you want to talk a little bit about the techniques and procedures that you have seen?
Yeah, thank you, Anjali. So from the, I just noted starting itself from you and Debosith and now Ajit. So I just seeing in different kind of quality with unique quality is one thing in among each and everyone. So you when you are there, we just I just remember you just joined in the Corona time. So first year we had an online class, so the approach of children itself different, to connecting with the children is through online and knowing the children with online. So the this is the thing, time by time, the techniques and all those things is vary. We should not stick on to the one particular way of thing. Child to child, it's vary. We need to check out what the requirements, So one child just needed some emotional support. One child needed some other way of connecting. But if we come to the education part, so we need to have a TLM, that LSW method. So that is differ from child to child. One child can learn by listening. One child can learn with action, like tactic way of learning. So we need to prepare with all those kinds. I saw in your fellowship journey. So I just still remember in the online class, you just used to have a whiteboard and teaching towards the children at the back. So it's very nice to see. And till now that Ajit also is having, if he is taking one particular concept, means he just prepare the TLM and understanding the children mindset. That also is very important. And the atmosphere where he is teaching. So often he will change the place of teaching, area. It's not the same thing, and they are working in a different way of level. So we need at the time of needed. So we could not stick on to the particular manner. So that those things and all, you people are trained well, and then you are coming back here. So I just very much happy to see. I'm just learning, and then I'm just trying to say my teachers to follow up the same, and they do have now lots of techniques, and it's a sharing way of learning. That's it.
Yeah, and adding on, I think to go beyond the textbook and make learning fun and engaging for children is something we try to do. Of course, for a lot of children who don't know how to speak English, we use phonics, right, to help them learn the sounds and then the smaller words, sight words, and then go into sentences, speaking, all of that. But key is to make it fun and engaging through different learning aids, visuals. We use a lot of video content. And of course, we take ideas from the teachers also because they have a lot more experience than us. One question, ma'am, you talked about COVID. One question on chat has also come. 2 or 3 people have asked Bhanupriya and Pavitra. What has been the impact of COVID on children? What is the difference you see before and after COVID?
Yeah, it's a vast difference. Due to COVID, the children are indirectly affected. We don't say directly affected, indirectly affected, and that also it's not noted like they are lacking in something. They're not mentioned it because it's a educational loss. It's an invisible loss. No one can see that, this is lost towards the children. We couldn't say that, we couldn't see directly. So it's an invisible loss. We are, after seeing the COVID, we are seeing children, the way of behavioral thing. That is the main issue. Studies also, they forgot all the root what they learned in the lower class, and also lots of behavioral issues we are seeing. They couldn't able to sit for 30 minutes in a class or just for 10 minutes. So now we are bringing back everything. This COVID taught lots of lots of learning. towards the children. They just thought they just kept in the four walls and they doesn't explore anything at the 2 years. After COVID, only after coming back to school, they are just living like like in a free world. So we are just seeing the children like 1 year. It's very tough for us after COVID. Once the school reopens, after a year, we have a tough time. Children lost all the memory power. Also, I can say, and also I can see the behavioral issues. They couldn't get one another. The friendship also is difficult to connect with other children. So lots of things emotionally they are just got down. So now we are trying to resolve slowly. No, it's not like 1 year or 2 years magically we couldn't do anything. So slowly we are recovering from that circle to another level of way. So that is actually.
Yes, ma'am. It was a tough time, right? And even for adults, it was so difficult when we all had to be at home and we couldn't move out. For young children, it had a huge impact. And online classes were happening, of course, but in our context with the families we work with, many of them did not even have access to a smartphone. Of course, Bhumi did try to support with tabs, but we were not able to reach everyone. And many of them, when they came back to school after 2 years, found it very difficult and took a long time to adapt. Thank you for sharing that, ma'am. I see a few people have their hands raised. I'll take one from Shanmuga Priya. Shanmuga Priya, would you like to ask your question?
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, sorry, Manoj. We'll come back to you. Shanmuga has her hand raised.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, please go ahead.
I always believe that apart from education and textbooks, students we need to support their individuality and celebrate their creativity. How about their sports and extracurricular activities, ma'am, apart from textbooks and learning?
Yes, ma'am. Would you like to talk about that? I think there's another question on chat that's related. It's talking about how education system feels little out of date. So is it only textbook oriented traditional method, or is there scope for other skills, extracurricular activities? Ma'am, if you're here, you can respond to that.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
couldn't able to on my video, sorry, but
No
I
worries.
answered for the question. Yeah, that's what they are emotionally. They just got down. I'm saying no. Now we are not seeing only the educational side alone. We are seeing holistic development of the children. So we are seeing the physical health. Physical health also totally spoiled because 2 years we given the phone to them. So now they are addicted. The phone. No, there is a particular counseling area in the Omandurar hospital, the government hospital. The olden days and all, we'll see the drunkard, something else. But now, the age of 10 to 18, the data says the children become addicted to the phone. So that is a very difficult pattern that their life. So to eradicate this only, we are just following the PTE period. So weekly, twice we planned earlier, but nowadays daily, whenever they get free time in the morning assembly itself, we have started the physical education. Even Ajit is taking yoga and Zumba dance in the morning. Something we can do fresh up the children. No, it's an everyday one activity. In the assembly itself we have started, and obesity we seeing. So lots of difficulties we are facing towards the children. So we are just giving more importance for the physical education in our school. We will not skip any PG period. And there is a separate master for the PG period. So we are more giving importance for that also, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Wonderful to hear that. Of course, this is not common. I mean, there are schools where still we have the same challenge like you mentioned, but one step at a time, we are trying to address it. I will take one last question from Alan Ashok, who is back on call. Would request everyone else to put their questions on chat. We will try to respond, but we have 4 minutes to go, so we would like to wrap up. Alan, if you are here, would you like to unmute and ask your question?
Am I audible? First of all,
Yes, you are audible, Alan.
so my question is a bit critical type. So, my question is that what is the perspective of on the emphasis of STEM? Like the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, like the basic education in India, and what is the need for a broader focus on other subject? Like, does only this much is enough, or there should be more? Should we wider on the terms of subjects, or should we just continue with only these four?
Yes, Gajalakshmi ma'am, I believe we have 11th standard in the school right now. Do you want to respond to that? Like, is the focus only on STEM, or should we also look at arts and other fields that are newly coming up, technology?
Yeah, definitely. We're not focusing only that. If you come to the higher level, higher studies, but the parents wanting the same, no monotonous thing. They want to learn and they have to get the more marks. They're just forcing, even in the management side as well as the parent side. Why they are just giving the education? If you ask the question why you are learning, they just say simply like, to getting a good job, not for other thing, So we need to insist the children, those who are, especially like budget private schools, mainly they are giving getting education for their no job purpose. So that there is no other way to skip. If you say like skill development, we are giving skill development program for the children of class 9. So like a beautician course is a 3 months course, it's a government certificate course, free course. But there is a no like the children of boy, our school is a choir, but the boys are thinking why we need to learn that a beautician course like that, that the stereotype is there. So we are breaking that. All the skill is never waste, If you learn cycle in the younger stage, you can recruit all those things till the end, So we are encouraging them in all the arena. In our vision, it's not to focus the same follow up the curriculum. We can wider up it better and better. It's not like the same. Nowadays, everyone getting aware all those things. Now we are finding what the talent is embedded in the children. So we are trying to overcome and getting the skill out. We are identifying that and we are recognizing. We are giving the way how to they can improve in their own style.
Yeah, Alan, what you're talking is a wider challenge, of course, and it's still very prevalent in our country, right? We're happy to have a longer conversation with you about this. In fact, one of our programs, the School Transformation Program, is currently working on STEM. Skilled is working on skill development. I would encourage that you reach out and connect with Bhumi after this also. Yeah, so with that, I believe we can close out. But I see there's a lot of likes on this one question. Because we have a lot of aspiring fellows on chat, the question is, as an HM, what kind of qualities do you expect from a fellow? Ma'am, would you like to share what do you want to see a fellow doing? What do you look out for?
Yeah, this is final. That's an interesting question. I thought somebody will ask this question. So, my as an HM, my expectation is, as a younger generation, as like you have to come with innovative idea, and then what are the possibilities we can help the children. So, as a fellow, you have to take your life skill experience as well as what are the new things, it's a technology wise and other thing, those things and all you have to learn and come and open out and share with the colleagues as well as the teacher, and you can what is inverse your skill and you can work happily in that environment. Because it's a practically we can talk all those things, but if you come to practical ground level, we need to do some sacrifices, some more work on that. So we need lots of time to work out, So whatever is possible in that particular time, definitely we will take off. We never hesitate to get the ideas. So just you can come with open lots of ideas to bring the new generation.
Yes, what I'm hearing is a lot of ideas, a lot of energy, and also a lot of work on ground to support the school and students in the development, right? Thank you so much, ma'am. It's been wonderful. We will pause here. We will close out with Ajit since we haven't had a lot of questions for you. Would you like to share something about the Bhumi Fellowship that everyone on call should definitely know before they come in?
Yeah. So what we are doing is a whole school transformation. But to achieve that goal, like what is actually happening, what is actually I am experiencing is like there is a lot of personal transformation is happening. So if I am equipped enough to do things, so I can transform my surrounding too. So I am transforming myself currently. So this is happening now. So after fellowship, I'm growing. I'm exploring into many ways. So I'm connected with new people, getting new perspectives. So I'm all those things I'm implementing in my school and in that community. So the one word which I want to tell is like uh, there's a gap between education and living. So what we are actually doing is like connecting bridge between education and living. So that will happen through us. So it's actually happening. I could able to see myself and my seniors and upcoming. Yeah, I could see a lot of potentials here. So I hope you also can be a change maker and change driver. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ajit. That's great. The fellowship is a 2-year journey, full time in Tamil Nadu, currently in Chennai. A whole school transformation approach, yes, but also a personal transformation journey, lot of development for anyone who comes in. I can attest to it. Ajit can attest to it. Um, it's a great space for us to collaborate, work together meaningfully to achieve change in the system, in the schools that we're working with. We also have an application deadline coming up shortly. I would request Sunetra and the team to drop the details on chat. So all of you, whoever has not applied yet, I would encourage you to apply. And if you've already applied, please be patient. Our team will come back to you very shortly with an update. And in the meantime, you are free to reach us on our social media handles and also volunteer with us if you are interested. And if you're looking for any specific opportunities, you can also write to us on fellowship@bhumi.ngo. With that, we will close out today's webinar. Thank you all so much for joining in. And we look forward to connecting with you all again in the upcoming webinars. Bye.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Yeah. Hello, ma'am.
Manoj, sorry, we will close out here. I would request you to write back to us if you have anything, or you can also share on chat. Everyone else, bye. Thank you all so much. We will connect with you very shortly.
Thank you, Anshul. Thank you for all the ends. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.